Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Watcher of Realms video. Guys, we're going to be talking about the banner for this weekend. Am I going to pull? Should you pull? We can answer those questions today. Day 133. And beautiful. We get an ancient summoning crystal. Is it a sign? Does that mean I should get involved? After last weekend's banner where I made hella mistakes, I'm not sure if I'm even allowed to get involved in pulls anymore. Right. Actually, something I do want to say to you. I am doing a collab with Fastidious today to try and progress my Gear Raid 1. He's going to do like a bit of a takeover, and then we're going to go to his channel as well. So I guess watch this space, but it should be cool. And actually, it's kind of relevant to this discussion right now in terms of the banners that are coming up. So let's see what's going on in the events. So we've got from Friday and Saturday, you've got your kind of like normal 2 times, which they do pretty regularly every other week. Or sometimes they're doing it every week right now. So there's almost always a summoning event at the weekend. It's never a good time to pull shards during the week in this game, okay? They're literally like that. Weekend is shard time. Don't pull them any other time. So just bear that in mind. And it does kind of like dovetail into the shard summoning we've got here with the fusion, if you're still doing that. I actually got mine yesterday, so I'm kind of like pretty much finished with that now. But they always do like extra events for these things. But the special summoning is for a Lord and for a healer. So we've got a Lord Mage, Demi, and then we've got the healer, Eunomia. Let's start here. She is somebody who kind of like covers 2 factions. So she's an Arbiter stroke Watcher. She's a healer, and she's got this kind of like bounce heal effect, which is quite cool. So we've got here, Eunomia integrates purifying power into her holy light, healing the allies and blessing them with attack speed increase, which is pretty cool as well. So what I like about, or what I want from a healer in this game is, yeah, keep people topped up, but give them something else. Yeah, healers generally like dovetail into being supports as well. Eunomia does do that, so she is pretty solid. Each healing will bounce 2 extra times. So you've got this kind of like bounce heal effect, with each bounce granting attack-based healing to an ally with a 35% healing multiplier. So basically what's happening here is you're getting 3 heals within your team, which is pretty nice. And each of those are giving the attack speed buff as well. You've got here what we've got, a block 1, whatever. Cost 18. About right. It's about normal, honestly. Let's just have a quick look. In terms of range, pretty solid for a healer. Covering a decent amount of range. Base attack's okay, considering she's an attack-based healer. She does have a very high, or low, I should say, attack interval at 2.5. A lot of healers are around up towards 3, I think. So that's pretty damn solid as well. Let's have a look. A1 gives attack-based healing. So the only thing for me is I really much prefer HP-based healing because, firstly, it's not using the same old gear that everyone else is using. Yeah, so many of my heroes need attack gear. I don't want the healers nicking it as well. But I guess they need different substats. Anyway, I much prefer HP-based healing because it also means that they're tanky units, and I'm not worried about them staying alive. But anyway, attack-based healing, 1 ally in range. We've then got the ultimate here, 900 cost, which is okay. Reduces to 700 with books, which is massively better. When activated, increases attack speed by 100 and grants attack speed increase to all allies in range. And as we saw, the range is big, okay? For 20 seconds, it's quite nice. Books up to 30 seconds. The effect becomes permanent after the steel's second activation. I mean, if you are thinking something like Guild Boss, maybe there's better options out there already, or there are better options, but I think this is not bad. You know, if you pulled her as someone like coming up through your account, I think that could be pretty solid. I think it could be pretty solid for, anywhere really. Anywhere where you've got units which are relying on their attack speed to do damage. You know, fighters and mages generally need attack speed unless they've got that kind of ability to not grow their attack speed. So I think this is kind of solid. Then got a passive here, or an auto. So every 40 seconds, which books down to 30 seconds, a dispel ability. So dispels all debuffs from 3 allies in range. I guess if you're thinking about the codex where you've got to kind of do the dispelling and healing, she's probably top tier. I've only got 1, I think, maybe 2 healers that dispel right now. Medan is like the epic version really of Eunomia. So having another one would dramatically improve my performance in Codex. So this is kind of nice. Also, generally dispelling. Do we need it that often in the game? Probably not, honestly. There's not that many game modes where I'm feeling like I'm getting a whole bunch of debuffs on me. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe I just don't know it, but I don't feel like I get debuffed a lot in this game. Maybe I'm completely wrong on that. I don't know. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Maybe I must do, but I don't notice it if I am. And then we've got this other passive here. So during the effect of Holy Light, which is the ult, the healing multiplier of the bouncing heal goes up by 40, up to 60% with books. So again, just kind of like grants you more healing. I guess that's all good. Arena cost reduction by 5. I don't really feel like there's many arena teams where I put a healer out. If I'm putting a healer out, it's more like a Dolores, which is just in there really to buff damage. So maybe there's something to say you get the attack speed plus healing. So again, it's another like support strike healer. Maybe it does get a little bit of use, but I don't feel like healers are coming into the arena a lot. So we've got Awakenings here for her. During the effect of Holy Light, healings will bounce another time. 1 Awakening, that's okay. Very weak Awakening 2, I think. Healing effect plus 8. Awakening 3, the bounced heal. This is nice. The bounced heal has a 10% chance to dispel all debuffs. So again, not only are you waiting for, the was it a ult? Where's the dispel come from? No, it's a passive. Not only are you waiting for this kind of like every 30 seconds, 40 seconds jobby, also when you heal, you got a chance to dispel. It's only a 10%, but if you get a high attack speed and she's kind of like flowing those heals out, that could be kind of nice. Rage regen plus 1 on a 4, that feels kind of weak. And then 5, we get a massive boost to the healing multiplier. So obviously that's way down the line. I think decent healer. So far though, do I pull for a healer? Probably not this one. Maybe if it was Elowen, I might do, but that's not going to be tempting me in alone, just this one. But this is an interesting one. So Demi. Demi is a lord, firstly. So she's a lord of the cultist faction. There's another lord in the cultist faction who is, Morrigan, who is super cool as well, by the way. Really, really strong. Bit of jiggles going on. So if you've already got Morrigan, I'd say you probably don't pull for this, right? But if you don't, then, and it's something which I've realized, lords generally are so damn strong, even if you don't even put them on the board, because the legendary lords just give the rest of your units so much benefit. Yeah, and so for this one, we got the basic 15% more stats. Every lord does that, even the rares. You've then got like the next element, which is more damage to any form of immobilization or crowd control, really. 30% more damage. It's a lot. Okay. Just having it on the board for that, when you're talking gear raid 1, with the units which you can put out within this faction, like Bierna, if you've got her, Lasir, super good. Reeve, if you were lucky to be around at that point. Yeah, even Uridin. There's a bunch which do strong AoE damage and would pair really well with this Lord skill. So that's nice. But then her kind of like special for being a legendary is when you kill stuff, you get a damage increase. So when someone in a faction kills an enemy, increases their damage by 12% for 5 seconds, but it can stack up to 3 times. So I'm thinking Gear Raid 1 specifically, that's a lot more damage, 36% more damage potential with everything else going on. I mean, it should mean that you're massively making Gear Raid 1 a ton easier. So again, if you've got Morrigan already, she already does something similar to this, but in a different style. More consistent damage, so less spiky, but not as much. I think I'd probably pick Morrigan over Demi in terms of consistency over like spiking up and down. But obviously you can choose what you want. In terms of her actual kit, it's quite interesting. So she's a mage with almost like a healer type of vibe range. I don't know if I like it, honestly. I don't know if I like it. Like, I can't think, in terms of where you'd put her down in terms of tiles, I think this is awkward to use in a lot of content. I think, I'd much rather I'm facing my range out, but I could be wrong. Maybe this is, it's interesting, but I think there's too much space that will just be covered by, in most content, where you're putting the rest of your team, So not sure if I love that. She's got to say here? The dark music master who plays the cursed melody with a little bongo. Her tunes are a whirlwind of madness and destruction. She's got multi-target attack, burst damage. So she gains invisibility permanently. That's very cool. But reduces max HP by 35% during battle. Okay. Additionally, gains specialized attack speed. So provides a greater reduction in attack interval based on attack speed attribute. Her base is 2.7, which is pretty damn quick, actually. And obviously, you then ramp it up. So she's got a slow on an A1, which benefits her Lord skill, up to 6 enemies. That basically gives everybody else 50% slow as well. It's nice. Everybody else in this faction is then gaining that damage boost, right? So she's enabling everyone else to do more damage with that. She's got the ultimate here. 1,200 cost is quite high. Books down to 1,000, still quite high. You can see this kind of, oh, I like the animation of it. Removes invisibility temporarily and plays the Elegy of Ruin. Basic attack deals 170% damage to up to 10. Puts the slow on and puts anti-healing on for 2 seconds. This is a heal block. 2 seconds, though, is not very long in the scheme of things. Like, it's really not very long, but I guess, you know, timed right, the slow plus healing, anti-heal for Gear Aid 1 really is where it's going on, right? So, pretty interesting. We've then got a passive. During the ult, every time an enemy in range dies, increases attack speed by 14, up to 5 times. That's huge, actually. And it can go up to 20, up to 5 times. No, 20 up to 10 times. So she can get 200 more attack speed during her ult, which is kind of nuts. She's got a Twilight Covenant here. When invisible, reduces damage taken. During her ult, each time the hero attacks, restores HP. So she's doing damage reduction up to 25%. And she's got her inbuilt kind of like passive self-heal, which is quite interesting. I mean, it's a Lord. It's unlikely you're going to get a whole bunch of Awakenings unless you're cracking in out. Awakening 1 is not even that crazy. When invisible, restores a bit more health. I guess it's okay, but Awakening 2 for the Lord skill, this is interesting. So you get an extra 15% crit damage for her. You get an extra 5% AoE damage for your team. Awakening 2 is actually kind of strong. Awakening 3 gets better damage, 4 just all more damage, and then 5 again, a lot of extra damage from her ult, a ton of extra damage actually. So look, I think I am going to pull. I don't even know how I'm doing actually for shards. Where do I see that? It's in here, isn't it? I got 17. It's actually not bad. The chance of pulling her is still super low. So first you've got to pull a legendary. Don't pull many legendaries from these shards. I don't know if I can show you the rates, but I think it's 0.8% chance to pull a legendary. Does it tell me here? I think it's 0.8% chance to pull a legendary from a divine shard, right? But then if you do pull one, with her on a 10 times, you're going to be up there as something close to 40%. I think Fastidious has got all these stats, but I think it's about 40% chance it will be a Demi. So I will pull for Demi. I will, because I don't have anyone in that kind of like legendary Lord for that faction. But I'm probably not going to be like wailing out. You know, I'll pull the shards I've got. I'm not going to be going all in, buy a ton of shards. So try my luck. If I don't get her, I'm probably going to leave it at that. Anyway, let me know what you think down below. I've been Hell Hades. If you like my content, sub to the channel, and I'll see you soon.